welcome to the Nonfiction Authors Association webinar series. These webinars are carefully designed to teach you what you need to know about writing, publishing, and promoting your nonfiction books. Whether you're listening live or on one of our social channels like Facebook, YouTube, or Vimeo, turn up the volume, set your monitor to full screen mode, and prepare to immerse yourself in this valuable learning experience. Now, on to the webinar. Hi, everybody, and thank you so much for being here for another complimentary webinar from the Nonfiction Authors Association. I'm Carla King, Vice President of Business Development for the NFAA, and today I'm thrilled to have Roseanne Cheng here from DropCap Rights Agency to talk about how we as independent authors and self-publishers have the opportunity to sell our book translation rights so you can reach people who are eager to read your book in their native languages. And thank you for those of you who are attending live for this 60-minute presentation. Roseanne will present for up to 45 minutes, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions, which you can put down in the Q&A area at any time. There's a little thumbs up area in the Q&A section, so your question may have already been asked, so you can upvote that question, and that's how I'll prioritize getting them answered. Okay, let me introduce Roseanne, and I'll turn it over to her. Roseanne Cheng is the author of 6 books, working on a 7th, yay. She's co-founder of an online book marketing school called the Evergreen Authors, and she works as an acquisitions agent for DropCap Rights Agency. She's passionate about helping indie authors elevate their creative work. A native of the San Francisco Bay Area, she's lived all over the world and currently resides in Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome, Roseanne. I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. I am really thrilled to be here. I love the Nonfiction Authors Association so much. I have been tangentially related to you guys for a long time now because the publishing world, while it is vast, is also very small. And it's always nice to be connected to some of the authority figures teaching people how to do this business right. So I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and go to my first slide here because while I do, and I think a lot of you, if you are authors and publishers, wear multiple hats, I am one of those as well. While I do own a business called Evergreen Authors, I do currently work for DropCap Rights Agency, which is a really unique place. It is a global rights marketplace for publishers and independent authors that is continually growing by the day. Let's start with who is DropCap, and I have to include this lovely picture of our team, almost all of our team together last summer in Minneapolis. Because we are a global rights agency, we are located all over the world. So it's actually very special for us to all get together in one room and take a photo. We are a literary agency that has a very specific focus, and that is selling international translation rights for books. Our team has combined well over 30 years experience in rights selling, 15 years experience in the self-publishing world. We are book marketers, we are authors ourselves, we are agents with many years of experience. And what makes us really special and unique is that all of us that have been part of this publishing world for a long time. And if you think about it, my first book came out 12 years ago, and that feels like light years in the publishing world because things have changed so much. One of the things that makes us really unique is that we feel very passionately that marrying the creative world with the possibilities in technology make it so we can elevate books in a smarter and more effective way for authors and publishers to make sure that all of these wonderful quality indie books that keep coming out get in front of the right people and in our global marketplace. Really what sets us apart is this very special software that we have created. And I shouldn't say we because I did not do that. I am not the tech person, but we do have a team of tech people who created this amazing rights management software that helps matchmake rights buyers with books that they might be interested in, and really handles the entire process from the negotiation of it in advance all the way to paying out royalties to the author. It's a smarter and really very cool way to elevate books to the global market. So I'll talk more about that as we go through here. If you are unfamiliar with how rights work, I try to make this as simple as possible. It's a complicated process, but I try to make this really simple. So first, and probably most importantly, we have to secure some high quality titles from publishers and agents and authors domestically. So when I say high quality, the type of book that when placed on a bookshelf next to any of the New York Times bestsellers is going to look like it belongs, and of course has that quality content. You all on this call or watching this webinar know how important it is to have all of those things in place. And our job is to make sure that we're securing all of these wonderful titles that continually get published. Next, we showcase those titles to our global partners and our rights buyers around the world. One way that we do that is through that proprietary software that I was telling you about. That software is nicknamed Sherlock. I might refer to our software as Sherlock during this. And then, of course, we are present at all of the major international book fairs. And if you have not been to any of the huge book fairs before, they are just very hard to explain. It's just these enormous trade shows where we are able to bring our signature big red booth that you can see in the picture. We have all of our, not all of our titles, but many of our titles on display there. And we also have our software working while we are meeting with rights buyers at those international book fairs. So we can make sure that we're keeping an accurate count of what is interesting to them and what books we need to follow up on with them. And then finally, of course, we do all those wonderful things that agents always do. We negotiate advances, royalties, any specifics in the contract, and make sure that you, the author or the publisher, get payment on that. So that's pretty much as simple as I can break it down, but there's definitely a lot of pieces in between. Okay, so this is a snapshot of our global network right now. We have rights buyers all over the world. We've done well over 2,000 licenses, well over 15,000 titles. We have sellers and buyers all over the world. We also work with other agenting teams in different parts of the world too. This work that we do as a literary agency is very similar to what any traditional agency would do. And it's really all about establishing that network. So because we have such a huge Rolodex, so to speak, of contacts, it makes it really easy for us to access lots and lots of parts of the world. All right, so the cool thing about working in the rights space over the last few years has been the incredible growth. Okay, clearly the way that our business was founded was through these years and years of selling rights just for translated work in translation, print translation overseas. So meaning you sell your rights to a rights buyer in Greece, and they will work to translate your book into Greek and sell it, and then you receive the proceeds of that. That is certainly much of our business now. But as our business has grown over the last few years, if you are a brand new author, or if you've been doing this for a long time, you probably know that audiobooks are just continually growing. So we are able to also sell audio rights. We sell TV and film adaptations at times. And then, of course, we can sell other printed formats. So that might include a book club edition, a large print. I have heard through our agenting team that those card decks that sometimes might accompany a book are something that they are able to license as well. And it's popular right now, according to the conversations that they're having. Really, the opportunities for really high quality books and indie authors they just continue to grow, and it's really fun for us to be part of that. So the truth is, and you probably know this, that these types of international rights sales for many years, this was something that only a traditionally published author could really take advantage of. That's because a huge publishing house is going to have all of those networks and connections. They're going to have the ability to showcase your books in a way that maybe a smaller indie press or even a hybrid press wouldn't be able to do. We feel really passionately that at DropCap, because of this amazing software that we have, that we can change that. And so that's been what has really motivated us in the last to move into the indie space. I want to tell you just a really quick, very cool success story that we just continue to work on. The author pictured here, Amber Nicole, my understanding is that she is a veterinary assistant by day and a romantasy author at night. So I did not know that romantasy was a genre, but apparently it is now. So romance/fantasy. You have romantasy. She is an indie author. She has an amazing TikTok presence. She brought her books to us, indie published, through our relationship with IBPA, which you guys are probably all familiar with. And it has done just incredibly well for her. This says 11 rights deals to date. I'm pretty sure that number is outdated. I think it's more. I know that there are talks going on right now for movie rights. And the bookseller recently featured her because she landed a 5-book series deal just as a result of the work that we were able to do for her at DropCap. So again, it's really such an exciting time to be an indie author, regardless of genre. And we'll talk more about the nonfiction space very soon. Okay, so here's what makes our marketplace really special in our eyes. As DropCap was growing, our main relationships were still with traditional publishers, but on the smaller to mid-size range. And being part of integrating all of your books and all of your metadata is time consuming, and time is money and all of those wonderful things, right? And as we were putting this idea about putting a marketplace that is specific to indie authors together, we figured that we had the opportunity to make this much more affordable for the indie author space, and just to test it out and see if your book is right for the international market. That's actually, it might not be. There's plenty of books that maybe it's just not the right book at the right time for whatever reason. But when we created our marketplace, we thought to ourselves, we can do better than just use our software to actually matchmake. We can provide marketing support, insight about the global market that you might not get otherwise. We have options for email promotions and special options for book fair placements that are really quite popular with our indie authors that are using our service. And it's helping us to elevate books to the right buyers as well. So our marketplace, we're really proud of creating something that is affordable and also provides value beyond just showcasing your books to rights buyers. Okay, beyond our amazing Sherlock system, we of course do all sorts of different types of matchmaking work with rights buyers. Really, our job is to make sure that our rights buyers are seeing the types of books that they have told us that they're interested in. Our software is able to make sure that every rights buyer who has access to our system has their own custom dashboard. So that means that they only are seeing books that we know are going to be relevant to maybe their geography or just to their needs. We do weekly pitch emails to our list of well over 2,000 book buyers and publishers around the world. We have a really active social media space and a wonderful social media manager who is in Spain doing a lot of work for us just to make sure that we're highlighting many of the deals that we're getting. It's always really exciting to be able to showcase a book cover in a different language. And then, of course, we have an amazing Facebook ad strategist. We do email drip campaigns. We have monthly newsletters, emails, and blog posts. So any book that's part of our system is automatically sort of part of these promotional efforts. And we're constantly growing as a team to try to figure out how to get more attention to the books that come into our system, to our rights buyers, and just to anybody who's interested in rights in general. Okay, I did mention that we felt very passionately about making our marketplace an affordable option for indie authors. And so we have done that with our one book plan as $97 per year. We think that's a good price point to gauge interest. If you want to keep going after a year, you can. If not, that's totally cool too. We have another option if you have 2 to 10 books. If you have more than 10 books, you can reach out to me or to anybody in our team, and we can work with the enterprise pricing there. But really, like I was saying, this is more than just listing your book on a marketplace. Each book is going to get its own custom landing page. Each book gets a custom author page that you can use as part of your media kit. You get a monthly rights report with all sorts of industry data, insights that we get from our international rights buyers through our meetings. We have downloadable sell sheets and a huge database of marketing resources. A lot of my background is in book marketing, and we try to give people tips and tricks and ideas for elevating your domestic sales, because that is truly one of the best ways for us to showcase your books to the international market. The easiest way to showcase that it can be successful overseas is to show that it is successful domestically first.
Thanks for listening to this webinar hosted by the Nonfiction Authors Association. Members enjoy full access to replays of all of our educational webinars and many other benefits. Not a member yet? Think about it. We offer tremendous support, guidance, educational resources, courses, free reports, and a welcoming community for you, wherever you are in your writing and publishing process. We also produce the annual Nonfiction Writers Conference, offered entirely online since 2010. Find out more about the NFAA and how to join at nonfictionauthorsassociation.com.